The Olympic Games were a spectacle of human achievement. But for Michael, they were a cauldron of pressure. His coach, who was renowned for ruthless methods, had drilled into him one mantra: win, or you're worthless. This year, Michael's performance had been mediocre, and his coach's patience had worn thin. "This is your last chance. Win or you're done," the coach growled, his eyes were cold and unyielding. Michael nodded, his heart pounding with fear and desperation. He couldn't bear the thought of failure, of being cast aside, of being eliminated in the Olympics team. The only obstacle in his path to glory was Louis, the reigning champion, one of his teammates, and the coach's favorite. The night before the final event, Michael wandered the Olympic village, his mind a storm of anxiety and dread. He stumbled upon Louis practicing alone in the gym. An idea, dark and twisted, began to form in his mind. He approached him, feigning camaraderie. "Hey, need some help with your routine?" Michael offered, forcing a smile. Louis nodded, grateful for the company. They worked through the night, and as dawn approached, Michael saw his opportunity. With a swift, brutal efficiency, he struck Louis down with a weight plate lying on the ground, leaving him lifeless on the cold gym floor. The next day, the arena buzzed with the news of Louis' tragic accident. Michael did his gymnastics routine in front of the bustling crowd. His heart was racing not with fear, but with the thrill of knowing that he had eliminated his greatest competition. He performed flawlessly, each movement a tribute to his dark deed. As he stood on the podium, with a gold medal around his neck, Michael's coach approached him, with eyes glinting with satisfaction. "I knew you had it in you," he said, his voice dripping with pride. As Michael heard the loud cheers of the crowd, he felt no triumph. Only the chilling realization of what he had done to achieve his ultimate goal. In the end, Michael had won the game but lost his soul. But he didn't mind, as long as he got what he's aiming for. Lisa is excited to be part of their country's Olympic swimming team. She trained so hard to land a spot, and now she's living her dream. But her excitement quickly turned into a nightmare. As expected, reporters and cameramen were swarming everywhere, battling in their own arena of cameras and lenses. They are all eager to get the latest updates and vibrant pictures of the athletes, capturing either their victory shots or embarrassing moments. But there's one particular cameraman who always lurks around Lisa, and this made her feel uneasy. The cameraman seemed fixated on her. His lens followed her everywhere, capturing her every move. During practice, he stood too close, snapping photos non-stop. His eyes were cold and unnerving, which made Lisa's skin crawl. She can even feel his gaze even when she turned her back. One evening, as she was headed to the locker room, Lisa saw the man hiding in the shadows, camera ready. Her heart was pounding as she rushed inside the locker room, slamming the door behind her. But the feeling of being watched wouldn't go away. Then she heard clicking sounds coming from outside the locker room. She can see camera flashes slipping under the slit of the door, that she felt like her pictures being taken. Lisa was anxious and fearful as she slumped on the floor. Then after a moment, the clicking stopped. She slowly opened the door and dashed towards their quarters, fearful that the cameraman might return. There were nights in the Olympic Village, when she heard knocks on her door, or the sound of someone opening it from outside. But each time she checked, no one was there. There were also instances when she wakes up at the middle of the night, when she found her door open. Sleep became impossible because she was constantly on edge, afraid that someone will just jump on her or strangle her. A week later, Lisa's heart plummeted as she saw her photos began appearing online. The images were from moments she thought were private, in the locker room, in her bedroom, even when she was sleeping. The Olympic organizers tried to catch the cameraman, but the stalker had mysteriously vanished. Despite this turmoil, Lisa still competed and had won. But as she stood in front of the cheering and roaring crowd, she was looking into nothingness. Then the flashes began to flicker, and the lenses began to capture her whole being. The Olympic Games is a venue to showcase the sportsmanship, physique, and physical prowess of participating countries. But this year, whispers of strange rituals swirled among the athletes. Sarah, a sprinter with dreams of getting a gold, couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. As the days led up to the big event, she noticed a group of athletes from another team, gathering late at night in a secluded part of the Olympic Village. Curiosity got the better of her one evening, and she decided to follow them. Hidden in the shadows, she watched as they formed a circle and lit up candles at the center. They began chanting in a language she didn't understand. She also saw an ancient-looking bowl, glinting ominously under the moonlight. Her blood ran cold when she saw one of the athletes draw a knife, and make a small cut on his arm, letting the blood drip into the bowl. Then they passed the cup around the circle, drinking blood from it. Sarah was panic-stricken and immediately ran back to her room. She cannot shrug off the feeling that something terrible will happen. The following day, she heard rumors of competitors falling ill or suffering mysterious injuries. The connection was too clear to ignore. Determined to uncover the truth, Sarah confided in her coach. But he dismissed her concerns as nerves getting the better of her, that she was just nervous about the competition. On the eve of her race, she crept back to the gathering spot. But unfortunately this time, she was discovered. She instantly took off the moment she realized she was seen, but the group managed to catch up to her, with their eyes void of emotion. Sarah saw the leader stepped forward, holding a knife. Then suddenly, she felt a jolt of pain on her back as someone whacked her on the nape. The next morning on the day of her competition, she woke up on her bed, confused on how she got there. Then to her fright, she saw a straight cut on her right forearm. It was still fresh and stinging. She just wrapped it with a bandage and headed to the competition venue. Sarah barely made it to the track and field. She looked at her competitors and was shocked to see the people from last night. They wished her good luck as if nothing happened. As the race began, she stumbled, unable to keep up. The other runners sprinted past her, their faces eerily calm and confident. Sarah didn't finish the race. And as she lay on the track, gasping for breath, she realized the true horror of the games. In the end, her competitors took the medals. But for her, their victory was hollow and brought about by darkness. Sarah's nightmare ended, but the chilling truth of the Olympic Games was forever etched in her memory. Ethan's previous performance had been subpar and unacceptable. Ever since the previous Olympic Games, he has been dragging down his basketball team. His coach is ready to let him go, unless he performs extremely well in this current Olympic Games, and if their team wins the gold. Ethan wants to improve, but his desire to win is not reflected in his actions. Each failure is a nail in the coffin of his career. Desperation gnawed at his sanity, and in a dark corner of his mind, a forbidden thought took root. He injected steroids and other drugs in insane doses to himself, fully aware of the risks it could take on his health. He has just one thing on his mind: win, the most coveted gold. On the day of the basketball competition, he injected himself with drugs even more. Ethan's body was a tapestry of strained veins and swollen muscles, exaggerated by the chemicals coursing through his bloodstream. His coach and his teammates noticed his abrupt physical change. They know something was wrong. But Ethan ignored their questions and worries, and just focused on the upcoming game. The game started and Ethan was a new man. He felt reborn. He scored most of the points for his team. Then he made an incredible slam dunk which made the whole arena roar. It's only seconds till the game ends. Ethan miraculously landed a crucial 3-point shot. His teammates ran up to him yelling, then carried him like a child. He was overjoyed and ecstatic. "I did it! I did it!" he said to himself while wiping his eyes with tears and sweat. There will be no reason for him to be kicked out of the team. Then suddenly, a sharp pain lanced through his chest, spreading like wildfire. His vision blurred. The stadium lights transformed into harsh spectral halos. His body began to weaken, and he felt like falling, as if the earth itself was dragging him down. With a final desperate gasp, Ethan collapsed, and he slammed on the floor. His teammates were shocked as paramedics approached his lifeless body. The crowd's cheers turned to horrified screams. The triumph of the moment got shattered. The steroids that had granted him his victory, had also stolen his life. If he hadn't been too desperate to win, then he'll still be enjoying the Olympic basketball games, even from the bleachers. Participating in the Olympic Games was a dream come true for Jake, a young tennis player excited to compete on the world stage. He met another athlete, Alex, who was friendly and eager to bond. They quickly became close, sharing stories, training tips, and even team secrets. As the competition day approached, Jake noticed Alex always asking detailed questions about his routines, and even about the security measures in the Olympic Village. Jake, thinking nothing of it, answered all of Alex's questions. On the morning of the big competition, Jake went to Alex's room to wish him luck, but Alex was gone. He felt a pang of worry but brushed it off, focusing on his performance. He competed with all his heart and won his game. When he returned to his room, a terrible realization hit him. His passport and important documents were missing. Panic set in as he searched everywhere, but they were gone. He reported the theft, and an investigation began. As the officials reviewed security footage, the shocking truth emerged. Alex was not an athlete at all, but a scammer who had infiltrated the village, befriended Jake, and stolen his identity. He had used Jake's passport to escape, leaving Jake stranded and devastated. The competition he had worked so hard for, was overshadowed by the betrayal of a fake friend. He had been scammed in the most secure place, surrounded by the best in the world, teaching him a harsh lesson about trust and deceit.